So today, a review from JMSpeedshop. We got a Cayenne Turbo. Very big, massive SUV. So let's have a look. So this is a 2003 Porsche Cayenne Turbo, first generation, called the 955 model. And it was built between end of 2002 till 2007, the first generation. And it came in various of engines. Like the first, you got also a 3.2 liter V6, then a V8, and also the V8 Turbo, and different horsepower ranges. From V6 had just under, for 250 horsepower, had 250 horsepower, then 340, and this particular car has 450 horsepower. It's a twin turbo 4.5 liter V8. So it's a pretty nice car. It's low mileage. It's about 65,000 kilometers. So it's an original condition, also with the original wheels, the 18-inch wheels. So they look pretty small on this particular car. I would choose bigger wheels, but this is what standard came. So let's have a look. So this particular, like I said, 18-inch wheels, 255. It got 350mm Brembo brakes, pretty massive. But that's needed for a big car like this. Also in the rear, 330mm brakes. So in the front you got 6 pods, in the rear you got 4-pod calipers. So it's 255 all around. So the turbos were pretty luxurious. Standard full-wood leather interior. Everything is electrical. Also Bose sound system, 14 speaker sound system. It's just a fully loaded car. It's a very comfortable seating. It's just, yeah, very nice. Nice Porsche cluster. There is an aftermarket, I think it's a navigation system from Japan. There's still some things that need to go out of the car, I think. So you got also air suspension with different settings. You can lock up the suspension, lower range gears. You got also in here. There's still the new plastic is still over it. So the knee is pretty new still. So you got 3 settings. We come back to that later. Comfort, normal and sport, and also ride height adjustment. You got some cup holders. Also you got here some compartments. Also memory seats. The memory is also for the steering column. That's also adjustable in height and in range towards you. Also pretty big in here. Also in the turbo versions you got standard, and you can see also heated seats in the back. You got also in the front of course and in the back. Pretty big. Very good seating position also in here. Also of course electrical windows. Also the Bose speakers. Pretty big boot space. You can also open only the window like this. This one you can also open separately. So you got a 540 liter boot space. Pretty big, what you expect from a car like this with this size. When you fold down the rear seats, 60-40 split, you got 1770 liters. So that's a massive space. So no spare wheel in here. There's I think parts from the sound system, still Bose in it. Air tank for the air suspension. I don't know if the spare wheel is an option. I'm not sure about that. Pretty nice. So there's also self-leveling air suspension. So if you put stuff in the trunk, it levels perfectly out. If it's a few hundred kilos, it's still level. So that's pretty nice. So this particular model is based on the Volkswagen PL71 platform. What that means is also on the same platform also the Touareg and the Q7. Audi Q7 is also built on this one. So Volkswagen Touareg and the Q7 on the same platform. So that is was a combination built between these 3 cars. So they have all the same wheelbases and that sort of stuff. But this particular car is a little bit longer, for 28mm longer, a little bit wider than the Q7 and the Volkswagen. Also on this side, memory seats, fully adjustable in height. Everything is just adjustable. So we also got a bag of a glove box. That's also, you can also put the cooling on. So you got it cooled. So if you get a bottle of water, that sort of stuff in there. Also sunroof, headliner full Alcantara. Also the sides, I think it's just a nice place to be. Just a very clean car. The big nose. So the last 2 years this particular car came also in the Turbo S version. That was a little bit more sportive, was standard delivered on 20-inch wheels, more aggressive nose. So let's have a look to the engine. So 4.5 liter turbo engine. V8, so double overhead camshaft engine with a variable valve timing adjustment. That's the same as on the boxer engines, that works with tensioning of the chain from the intake to the exhaust running. So that's changed the tensioning on it. So yeah, this particular engine delivers 450 horsepower at 6,000 RPMs and 620 Newton meters in between 2250 and 5500 RPMs. So it's a very wide range of torque delivery. So I think we should do the most important thing: take this car for a drive. So, Cayenne Turbo. Ignition key on the left side, like Le Mans position, just like 911s. Nice. Everything is adjustable in the seat. Perfect. Also the steering column. Also nice. So, let's go. Pretty nice and quiet inside. I really like these particular cars because you got a lot of view, just a little bit higher to the road. So yeah, they're just pretty comfortable also. So yeah, first generation Cayenne Turbo, 955 model. This particular car was built from, it was introduced in 2002, so it was on the market beginning 2003 till 2007. Then you got an upgraded model with different engines. Also the displacement was bigger then. And so you also got this particular car in a 6-cylinder, 3.2 liter V6, just like in a Touareg. And you got the 4.5 liter atmospheric V8, then a Turbo S, a little bit more. I thought it was 340 horsepower. Then you got also this turbo version, 450 horsepower in 2006 and 2007. You got also a version that was a Turbo S that got 521 horsepower and 720 Newton meters. That's 100 Newton meters more than this one. So this particular car has 620 Newton meters in between 2250 RPMs and 5500 RPMs. So that is a very wide range because this engine has its max horsepower at 6000 RPMs. So above 2250 up till the rev limiter is very good. So I think that's a very good comparison of a car that has an engine that you can use all the time. Because now I'm just driving in 4th gear, so it's just about 1500 RPMs. But if you step in it and it will shift down, you have always power. So that's pretty nice. So this particular model is based on the Volkswagen PL71 platform. So what it means is that the Touareg, Volkswagen first generation Volkswagen Touareg, first generation Audi Q7 and the Cayenne are built at the same chassis and body base. So they're all the same. The wheelbase is the same, the weight is almost the same. So the placement of the engine and the drivetrain is all like in the same configuration. But there is a little bit different in dimensions. I thought this particular car is a little bit wider and longer than the Touareg and the Q7. I thought 28 millimeters longer and also a little bit like that wider. But for the rest, the wheelbase and that sort of stuff is the same. So this particular car with this engine and this version weighs 2,355 kilos empty. So that's pretty heavy. But yeah, it's a big SUV. This particular car is not only used for driving very fast, what you should expect from a Porsche, but it also has the transmission also has lower gear ranges, and also you can lock up the differentials, and so that's you can also use it for terrain. So, but this particular car had a 6-speed automatic sequential transmission, so you can also shift it Triptronic on the steering wheel. So you just push it just like I did to the left, and you then can shift by pushing the button up and down on both sides of the steering wheel. So it's not a left down, right up. It's just on the front of the steering wheel. Both sides you can have a plus and a minus button on it. So very easy transmission to use. It's very friendly. I'm now doing 70 kilometers and it's now in 5th gear, so it's now doing 1400 RPM, so it's pretty nice and pretty smooth. So these particular models were very luxurious. As you got a Turbo S is already pretty luxurious, but this particular model has also, like I said, they were all delivered in a full leather interior. You got adjustable seats with memory both sides, heated seats in the front. Also the Turbo has also heated seats in the back. Like this particular model, you got Alcantara headline. I think that's always very nice in a car. It gives you a very nice luxurious feel in it, and it looks just very, very good. So these particular cars will also deliver with air suspension with PSM. That's a Porsche Active Suspension Management System. That is the dampers are adjustable. So you have different settings there in the console. You get comfort, normal, and sport. So comfort is just, it's just the most smoothest ride. Normal is just normal conditions. It's a little bit in between, and then you got sport. Then it hardens up the dampers. So you get also 6 different ride heights, so you can choose in between 6 different levels. So in the normal range, it was just in the beginning of the video you see the normal range. You can lower it by just pushing the button and it will lower the car. So I think that's just a pretty cool option. For off-road it's very nice, you can get it up so you don't hit rocks or anything else. So this particular car is standard delivered at with 18-inch wheels. I think for a big car like this is pretty small, I think. I should really prefer 20-inch wheel or something. That was 20-inch wheels were standard on the Turbo S model, and they pretty much suit this car very easily because you got a very big wheel well. So yeah, the 4.5 liter V8 produces, like I said, 450 horsepower at 6,000 RPMs, and the torque delivery in between 2250 and 5500 RPM, 620 Newton meters. So the torque split is 38% in the front and 62% in the back. But it can, if you, for example, are in stock or something, it can send all the torque to one wheel. So to give you max traction on the wheel that can have traction if the rest is spinning. So the gauge cluster is really like a 911, but it's a little bit bigger. You got the big cluster on the left, cooling temperature, then the RPM gauge. Then you got a middle that's like a trip computer, all kinds of info on it, and you also got then oil temperature and your fuel, and then the speedo of course. And on the right side, what I think is pretty nice, that's your boost gauge. I think that's also it's going to 0.8 bar. I think that's also around the range. It's not very high boost pressure in this engine because it's a 9.5 compression ratio to 1, so that's pretty high for a turbo engine. And this is not a direct injected engine, so you got not the cooling capacity you have with a direct injected engine. The moment with a direct injected engine in the cylinder, you got cooling capacity from the fuel that's evaporating through the top of the piston and in the combustion chamber. So this particular car has injection just in the manifold, and when you then have a higher compression ratio like this particular car has, then how more boost you get, how easier it is for the car to have a knock. So self-ignition in the cylinder, so you don't want that. So that's pretty good. So this particular car with 355 kilos can still accelerate in 5.6 seconds to 100. That's what factory gives. So we should have a look how good it is. So with an S version, it's 100 Newton meters more and 70 horsepower more. It should accelerate at 5.2. So the difference is not that big, but we should have a look how this acceleration will do. I think the first impressions is that it's really easy to drive. So it accelerates very, very nice. So let's see, 0 to 100. So let's have a look how good this particular car can accelerate from 0 to 100. So as you can see, I can shift the shock absorber settings from comfort to normal to sport. So I lowered the car also in the lowest setting. I'm just in drive mode. I have the air conditioning off. So let's see how good this car can do that. So that's pretty impressive for a big car like this. Braking also. So it's faster than I thought. Acceleration above 100 is still pretty impressive for a big car like this that's catching a lot of wind. So if you like this video about this Cayenne Turbo first generation, the 955 model, I think it's a pretty nice car. If you look to the comparison to the other cars that were built on a Volkswagen PL71 platform, like the Touareg and the Q7, I think if I was in the market for a model like this, I would choose the Cayenne Turbo. But I think it's more sportive. Yeah, it drives just very, very good, and I think it's just a little bit more good looking than a Q7. That's my personal opinion. It's got a very nice engine, it sounds very good, very nice torque delivery. So this particular car is for sale at Johan Over. There's a link below the video. In the description you can see there is a link to his website. Go have a look, he got more nice cars for sale. Also in this range there's coming another Cayenne Turbo, different color. So have a look. So if you cannot find the link, you can also look at my website, because my website is online, JMSpeedshop.com. There's a link here, JMSpeedshop.com. Also in the description, go to my website. All my reviews and all my videos I've done are over there, with more photos and descriptions that are not on my channel. So you can also have a look there also. And don't forget to subscribe to my page for more nice cars in the future, more nice projects. So give a thumbs up if you like the video, share it with your friends, and see you for the next one. Bye bye.